Welcome to the Penthouse podcast here at the Penthouse. I've got two of my lovely girlfriends here from Wilmington. We've got the beautiful and talented Emily Beale and the magical, amazing Michal Cheshire. And so thanks for coming by, ladies.
We're so happy to be here.
So I asked you to come on because I am a fan of Green Compass. The products are amazing. I wanted to bring you on to kind of tell people more about it. And there's a lot of questions people probably have that they're probably curious about and maybe just unaware of the benefits from it. And we are friends, and it was fun to have you all here. And I wanted you to tell you a little bit more about yourself, your family, your travels, all the things. So Emily, I'll let you start.
Oh, lucky me. My name is Emily Beale. I'm a mom, and I am also a CBD advocate, which is so wild because if you told me I would be doing what I'm doing today a few years ago, I would have said you're absolutely crazy. I had a career in medical device sales that I loved before becoming a mom. Thought I was going to do that forever, but I got laid off when I was pregnant.
She's a MILF, everyone.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So are you.
So I got laid off, and Green Compass kind of fell into my lap a few years later. Didn't know anything about CBD, but knew the founders very well. They're also here in Wilmington, Meredith and Sterling Cook. And here we are 4 or 5 years later. It's changed our lives.
Wait a minute. You know what? That's how we met, was actually from the gym. So I worked out with Meredith, and she had her little boys, and I kind of ran the gym at the time. I was over LA nightlife, and I was looking for something new in my life to do during the day, which here I am back to what I know the best, and that's serving people drinks and entertaining. But Emily and I got really close as well, and you know, she would bring the kids in with the daycare, and that's how Meredith and I would work out. And we just got off the phone with Meredith. She would have been here today, but she's traveling the world selling Green Compass. And then Michal, tell us how we met.
I'm just upset I didn't get invited to the gym, so I didn't know where this gym is. So my name's Michal Cheshire, and I am a mom. I've got 2 kiddos, 6 and 9, James and Lion, and married to my husband, John. And, you know, again, kind of like Emily, I never saw myself in the direct sales space or, you know, even in the hemp-based wellness space. But I kind of fell into my lap because my husband actually had a really great success with CBD products. And so it really opened our eyes to the potential of what these products can do for other people.
Y'all started to hit the market right when it started. Y'all were like off. That was the first time I ever heard of CBD was Green Compass.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you always have, there's this whole stigma with the THC and then the CBD. And then there's a lot of people that are curious about it, but they don't want to dabble in it because they think they're going to get high. They think it's weed, and it's like not. It's so far, it's from the same plant, but it's a whole different, you know, medical kind of, I don't know what I'm trying to say. The health benefits from it are different than smoking a joint versus taking a drop of CBD oil.
Absolutely.
We can touch on that. We say like one is to heal and one is to feel. So the hemp plant,
I love that.
It's good, right?
So good.
Yes.
And the hemp plant is different than the marijuana plant. The marijuana plant is that plant that's high in THC that's going to give you those psychoactive effects. All of our products come from the hemp plant. You will not get high. You can chug a whole bottle of CBD. I wish I had it with me, and you won't. You might be a little bit sleepy, real chill, but you won't be high. But I think that is funny to note, and I think that's why this business makes so much sense, is so many people are uneducated and they think it is marijuana, or they're not up to date with what CBD can do for you. So it really makes sense to have someone like Michal or myself there to educate you and help you along with the process.
That's why we have you here today.
Yes.
Because I really feel like there are a lot of people like Scotty, like, you know, the guy that works the door downstairs. He is definitely a very straight edge person. No drugs, no alcohol, none of that. And so he was like, you know, a little curious about it because he's like, well, he's like, I don't understand it. He's like, is it going to get me high? Like, you know, like, he's like, and I'm like, no. Like, and so there are people like him still today that are still like curious, but they don't know how to ask about it. They don't know who to ask about it. And I think having the two of you here today for people like Scotty that they don't know the benefits of the healing that it actually can do for your body and the positive health things that can make you know, feel better without the whole drug stigma behind it. But no, it's been exciting to pursue the CBD because for myself, it calms me down. It does sometimes without, because I can't come to work and talk to people and be stoned. You know what I mean? But there is the benefits of it. There is a calming, more relaxing feeling that you get from it. And I mean, it's definitely, it's been, my mother raves about it. So she should come here for a testimonial sometime because she's just like, she's totally such an advocate for Green Compass CBD. And
I love that. My mom thought I was a drug dealer when we first started, and it took her a little while to finally purchase. You know, everyone thinks your mom's
that's
gonna
the
be
thing is that's what
the
we're
first
trying
person.
we're trying to get rid of that stigma
Yes.
with people that really could use it, but they hear CBD. But like, what's going to happen is wait till all these shops right now that are selling CBD, when the marijuana thing finally comes legal, how is that going to affect y'all's situation? Like, are you going to incorporate the THC into Green Compass? Is that going to be something y'all are thinking about? Or obviously you've thought about some of the, if and when it does become legal, are you going to incorporate it, or are you going to kind of stay away from that part of it? Or what are you thinking?
Well, as far as the THC goes, the hemp plant does actually have a small trace amount of THC in it. So some of our products do contain a small amount, but when it comes to marijuana, I'm not sure. I'm sure they'll cross that bridge when it happens.
we get there.
We need to call Sterling and ask him. But
Yeah.
what is cool is, you know, even in the CBD space, the regulations, people are knuckling down. I mean, anyone can put whatever they want on a bottle and sell it as quality CBD, which is really where Green Compass comes to play. You know, we're USDA organic. We set ourselves apart by being really clean. But Meredith and Sterling are actually going to DC this week to go be on the hemp roundtable and advocate for clean hemp, which is super cool. So when regulations come down in the CBD space, we're going to be sitting pretty because we're doing everything the right way.
So is this some of the future events y'all will be attending?
This is like they're in DC making legislation for
Okay,
hemp. So we
cool.
won't, I mean, we can go stand there and wave our banner and, you know, say congrats. But we've got our big conference in Charlotte in July. We've got a trip to Dominican Republic in October that we'll both be going to.
Mm-hmm.
So
how did you actually get involved with this?
it's a good story. I started.
Yep.
I'm like the grandma, but it really just fell into my lap because I knew Meredith and Sterling. And I started doing my research, and I realized how many people were curious about CBD, but so many people didn't know where to buy it. They didn't want to go to a hemp pharmacy or buy a sketchy brand off
They
Amazon.
look like they're like going to, like, you know, in Los Angeles, they're on every corner.
Right,
You know, the
every
medical
corner,
shops.
and most of it's junk. 9 out of 10 bottles are actually mislabeled. So
And you think about your mom, like your mom doesn't want to go walk into a hemp pharmacy.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
Or
we
me.
might, but like
With your
you
kids?
wouldn't even want to. I mean, yeah.
I wanna
it
get a
doesn't look good when
babysitter.
a mom is going into a.
Just a little sketch.
It's like a mom going to the ABC store and coming out with bottles all, you
yeah.
know. So, which the thing about it is THC, CBD, all. It's just there's no comparison to alcohol. Alcohol, people, that is that can go down bad roads. You never seen anybody smoke a joint and go out and beat somebody up. You see somebody drink a bottle of Jack Daniels, you know, things could take a turn for the worse. So I've always thought that with, you know, having the CBD and it being more relaxing and more like better for your, you know, for your, just to be around your kids, to be around your husbands, to, you know, be happier. But the alcohol, there's no comparison with the alcohol. And that's why I was always concerned how they used to say, oh, alcohol is the gateway. Or weed, excuse me,
Marijuana,
sorry.
yep.
Marijuana is the gateway to everything else. I'm like, no way. Alcohol definitely makes you do things that you definitely wouldn't do versus what you would do with a couple drops of CBD oil. You know what I mean? So, but just educating people enough that, like the Scotties and the older generation, that they hear CBD, they've automatically assumed they've put it in the category of THC.
yeah, all ages. But it is so cool because I can't imagine my life without this one in it now. Right? But we didn't know each other before Green Compass, and our husbands were actually friends. And John had a really good testimonial.
Tell us about John's testimonial.
Really good.
Yeah, so this was just before I had really started talking to Emily. My husband, John, he had been struggling for a number of years with jaw
Back
pain.
issues?
No,
Oh.
jaw pain. And for me, like hearing that, I'm like, jaw pain, like you're fine. You know, take some ibuprofen,
Yeah.
you're going to be fine. But I didn't really realize the severity of his pain. So he was taking ibuprofen every single day, which we know that's not good to do for the long
any
term.
sort of medication like that.
Right. And so he started seeing different alternatives. He went to physical therapists. therapists. He went to chiropractors. He saw multiple dentists who were giving him all the mouthpieces and,
Every
trying
outlet
to.
he could get into.
Yes, absolutely. Every outlet. And unfortunately, nothing was helping him find relief. And so he started researching surgery, where if anybody listening, knows anything about jaw surgery, it's like a 50% success rate. They sew
Wire your mouth
yeah,
shut.
wire
Yeah.
your mouth shut.
And you got to eat
which might have
through
been
a
cool for
tube.
me for a minute, but
Yeah.
but so yeah, something you don't really want to elect to do, and like really spoke to
Can't
the
eat,
pain
you can't even
he
eat a
was
real
in.
meal. I mean,
No.
yeah.
Well, and I would cook, which my cooking is not great. But, I remember one night specifically, and he might kill me for sharing this, but he was cutting up a steak and trying to eat some steak and like literally just started crying because he couldn't eat the steak. His pain was so bad.
And plus you want to get a good meal. Like you're like, you get, and then what happens when you don't eat? You get hangry.
We got to eat.
Yeah. You got to get the people like, it's like, we all have those days where you haven't gotten a chance to have a bite of something and you're ready to just rip somebody's head off because you're like, I don't want to talk until but to have your mouth wired shut and to go through that kind of pain and then to be on all these different kind of medicines and then you led into something that helped him.
Well, and somebody one day suggested to him, he was talking about his jaw pain and somebody said, hey, have you tried CBD for that? And he was like, no, but I've tried everything else. I'm going to go try this. And he started on a regimen. He was on a full spectrum CBD oil, which we can kind of go into what that is in a little bit. And I'll never forget, it was 4 days into that journey. He came to me and he was like, Michael, I don't know if this is just in my head or what, but my pain is pretty much gone. And so
that right there is like, whoa, okay, we're on to something here.
Huge, like mindset shift. And, from that moment on, he had not complained of his jaw since. And, he had spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars going to all these different doctors' appointments.
Medicines.
Yes. And nothing was helping him. And he was able to find this natural relief within CBD. And what's so funny, which I think is interesting in life, how timing is a funny thing. He found success with CBD. And it was shortly after that was when Emily reached out to me about Green Compass and the opportunity. And, normally direct sales, social selling, whatever you want to call it, I always roll my eyes to those kind of opportunities.
A lot of people are like skeptical of that pyramid stuff. And
that could be a whole other podcast, I feel like.
Yeah.
But, the second she said it was CBD, like my ears perked up because I was like, oh my gosh, John just had amazing success with CBD. And in my head, I was like, if these products helped him so much, like who else is out there that doesn't know that this could be an answer to prayer for, And so many people are living with pain and just living through it or living with side effects due to medications. And so many people don't know there's another option. And so
a healthier option.
Right.
Is it holistic? Is that like
plant medicine?
So yeah, but yes. So we've gone into all this a little bit of the actual CBD oils and stuff, but you've got so many more products now. I mean, the gummies, the facial products that you have.
Pads.
Yeah. That, but I've tried. I'm a big fan. So obviously, I've tried a lot of the stuff. The gummies are great. I like all kinds of gummies.
What's your favorite if you had to pick one?
The small, tiny one.
The jellies.
Yes.
Yeah.
The little red round ones, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the THC ones too a little bit. Those are for Friday nights when I'm ready to kill
strokes,
people.
different folks.
No judgment here.
No judgment.
Everything has
different
a
products.
time and a place.
Back to not getting in fights over alcohol. Take a gummy, you'll be all right. No, but they've got so many more products that are out there. And so are there any you can give us a little snippet of some new stuff that might be coming out soon? Are you allowed to say?
Well, we launched a new product actually today at 10 a.m. So good timing. But I think what's cool to note is everything that we have is hemp wellness. So it all comes from the hemp plant. So we have, varieties of deliveries for CBD. So you can take it orally, you can use a topical, or we have what's called nano technology where it is absorbed. It's water soluble.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You got it. You nailed it.
But our new product that launched is called CBDA, and it's actually the raw form of CBD. And when you take it with your CBD, the results are
amazing.
Yeah. But there's new stuff coming in July. Stay tuned.
So how has all this changed your life in general? I mean, just besides
It's
your
a loaded
husband
question.
feeling better. Yeah, besides your husband feeling better, which obviously when mom and daddy are happy, everybody is happy,
Yeah.
But as far as the travel, like you guys get to go and share this with other people and trying to, get just the awareness is one thing, but building your clientele, that's what obviously in a business you want to do that. But like, so what are some of the fun, wild stories that you've had on some of these trips to like Vegas and some of the fun ones? Like, we want to hear the juicy stuff.
I don't know how much is juicy because everybody's so chill. But you know, something like how it's been life-changing, something that comes to mind for me. So before Green Compass, I had my own makeup business. I was doing wedding and event makeup, which I loved so much, but it was also a lot of weekend work.
Stress.
And I have 2 small kids.
Yeah.
And I was robbed of a lot of the, you know, my husband works traditional hours.
Yep, it's all nights, weekends,
It's
and
like-
holidays.
Plus some.
Yeah, right. And it's like I missed out on a lot of that family time, you know? And I don't think a lot of people understand when it comes to, you know, outside of helping people, I think that's number one for sure. But, you know, when it comes to the direct sales, social selling space, the freedom that it provides, you know, it was almost a year into my business. I felt comfortable enough to walk away from
Because you can
my
still
business.
hang out with your kids and throw their birthdays and be at home with them.
And be more present. It does create time freedom. And you know, I remember when I first got into the business side too, I'm sure I told you, like my first like financial goal was I wanted to be able to pay for camps for my kids because camps are really expensive, especially here in Wilmington.
The piano, the soccer, the
gets-
baseball, the this, the that. Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, that's what I got into this business for, was to be able to have a little bit more time with my family and, you know, pay
Quality
for some
time.
extra camps. And you know what? Like this has just snowballed into so much more than any of us really involved with
And
Green
that's
Compass
what you
could
guys,
dream.
I mean, and it's not just women that are selling this.
No.
There's men selling it. And to have that freedom to be able to spend more time with your family, the quality time, like, I mean, owning a bar for me is difficult. I miss the nephews' baseball games. I miss some of the birthdays. Everything is nights, holidays, and weekends. So it's like, if I can try to, like, you know, it's all boils down to staffing too, and getting good people you can trust that, you know,
To show up.
be on time, do their jobs, be you in a sense. And it's hard to find another you sometimes. And in our own worlds, we want to find another Emily. We want to find another Michael. We want to find another Jesse so that we can go, you know, spend time with our friends and our families and stuff. But we know the main focus is obviously we have to make money. We have to provide. And I think I could speak for the three of us. We're very independent. We want to be able to provide on our own if we have to. And being able to have a situation that you guys have that's also so rewarding at the end of the day is so important. And I commend what you're doing. So I'm very proud of both of you.
You're so sweet, and likewise. But I think what is so cool is that you get to really design your 24 hours and what does your day look like, and you fit this in around your life instead of the other way around. And that's what's so special about what we get to do. And there's one thing I wanted to touch on when you mentioned that it's not just, you know, moms who do this business, and it's CBD doesn't discriminate. It's for, you know, my 7-year-old son takes these products, my dog takes these products, my mom, who thought I was a drug dealer at first, now takes these products and tells them to all her Pilates friends, and they all order because they want a trusted friend and a trusted product
and
to
it's going to
use,
come from
right?
somebody that they know is not
Yes.
going to like mislead them to something that's going to get them high.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of people that are uneducated about CBD think it boils down to being a drug, and it's like, it's so not. It's derived from something so holistic. And just to get that out, like I said on the way here with Scotty, it was like, I said, what's one thing you'd want to ask the girls about the CBD? He's like, I got to go to work. I got to go be productive. I can't be like, what if I like have a bad reaction and like I have to go home? And I said, no, like, listen in, talk to them, educate yourself about it. And you might find the benefits are going to go a long way in your own life that you never had any idea that would go that way.
Yeah, and it is federally legal.
It's legal. Yeah.
Everywhere.
It's legal.
But there's, because it's a wild, wild west out there when it comes to the CBD space, and all these, you know, most bottles are mislabeled. You want to make sure you have, all of our products have a little barcode on the bottom, and you scan it and it pulls up a third-party lab test. And that third-party lab test tells everything that's in our bottle and everything that's not. So you're able to see, hey, this barely has any THC or it has none at all. Whereas other companies, you know,
A lot
could
of that,
have whatever.
some of it's made. They just put slapping
Yeah, you
labels
don't know
on,
what's in
like
there.
just
They
to.
slap
It
3
could have,
labels on
it
a
could
bottle.
be
It could
marijuana,
anything.
and it could make you
I see what
stoned,
Meredith
you
And
know?
even outside of the marijuana, so many products have heavy metals. They have herbicides, pesticides, and you're trying to take a product to help you feel better. But then when you layer that in with if there's even CBD in it, if you're lucky, and then you've got herbicides, pesticides, heavy metals, like what is that doing to your body?
A lot of this stuff really gets to me because, like, I'm not hating on California, but they've gone through droughts with no water. How are you making these grapes for the wines? How are you doing these things that are like, I mean, I see that. Like, I mean, obviously I'm in the bar business, and I'm always curious when they have these droughts with no water and they're still making wine. How are you growing these grapes? Like, there's got to be ways of genetically engineering stuff. And I know
white labeling.
Yes, yeah. And then with with Meredith, I see what they do. They have their fields. They have their. It's all freshly watered. I mean, so you see these products are getting the nourishment that they need to grow, to harvest, to produce, et cetera, et cetera.
And so I feel like that's something good to talk about too, is, you want to make sure your products check a few boxes. So we can kind of talk about those things. And one is us being USDA organic certified. So many products anymore, any products out there are greenwashed where they're saying they're organic or all natural. And really that does not mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah. So you want to make sure it has that USDA organic seal, which is interesting too about. That means their soil has had to have been certified USDA organic for, 5 or 10 years, like a number of years before they get that certification. And then also the radius around the farms have to be organic as well.
So that nothing's been leaked into the
They're also not just testing the soil, they're testing the waters. So that seal is...
Even the air quality has a lot to do with that too.
Crucial.
Well, the hemp plant is what we call a mop crop or a scavenger plant. So it soaks up everything in the air and in the soil. So when there's shit in the soil and gunk in the air, it's soaking it all up. And, people are putting that in a bottle and taking it,
slapping a fancy label on it.
Yes, all of it. So
it's a lot of this stuff on Instagram. You have to be careful because it looks so pretty because they've marketed it so well.
I mean, I'm a sucker for a pretty label.
Me
but
too.
The more I get
whoa.
into this industry, the more I learn about everything that we put into our bodies, onto our bodies. It's so important to know anymore, especially what's in it, because there's so much.
I mean, because a lot of those labels, I don't even know what some of those words are. Just like we've learned now that you just stay away from in the grocery lane. You stay out of the stuff in the middle of the grocery store. The stuff, at least on the outskirts, is it going to go bad? It's like, that's just something I've taken in consideration with my own, like, buying for my home life, is like, you just don't know these long names and the yellow 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, what is that?
Oh, that's terrible.
We don't even know, but we're still eating that. Like, and so then we're gonna get mad at ourselves when we find out that we wonder where all these cancers and stuff are coming from. It's all this artificial stuff, this preservatives and things that they're putting into food, and they're not being completely honest about it. And so, like, at least with Green Compass, you guys are completely 110% transparent.
Well, that's exactly our whole mission. And I think this would be a cool time to talk about kind of how our company got started, because you hit the nail on the head. And
transparency.
Mm-hmm. And so Meredith, our founder, struggled when she became a mom, didn't feel like herself.
She was
many people.
Skincare.
Yes, she was. She was an esthetician prior to that, and her husband had been in the agriculture industry, and she was struggling. And so she was introduced to CBD by her brother. He ran triathlons, and CBD helped with his muscles. So he was like, try this. And she felt better. But none of the products that she took were consistent. Some were murky, some smelled, some looked funny, some had flakes in it. Some smelled like feet, she'll tell you. But she felt better and she was desperate. And so she kept taking it. And it was a few years later when she wanted to give CBD.
Stay away from the smell good stuff, guys. It's not always the best thing.
Or the ones that smell like feet.
Yeah, stay away from those especially.
Unless you're into that,
But when she wanted to give CBD to her boys years later, she realized she couldn't trust that product enough to give to her kids. So her husband had been in the agriculture industry. He created this product with 2 6th-generation farmers, and they realized they had a business model on their hands because they had an incredibly transparent, clean, USDA certified organic product, and they felt different. She did, and her boys did. So they decided to use people like Michael and I to share this product and share testimonials and get it into the hands of others, instead of putting it up on a shelf where, we have a really great story to tell, and it's not going to tell itself sitting on a shelf.
Sincerely believe in it.
And we're run on testimonials. It's like, I don't know how many times I've shared John's testimonial. And
I asked you about that because I knew it was such an important thing. Because when I heard you talk about that, you meant that from the heart. I mean, that's your husband. That's the father of your children.
I mean, there's nothing better than watching somebody you love love come out of pain or start to feel better. And like that's was Sterling with Meredith.
That's what changed your whole like thought process on the whole thing. I think was when your husband finally got something that made him feel like so much better, and that whole jaw issue was like gone.
It's serendipitous because I don't think if she would have come to me and I had
She
no idea what
ignored me at
CBD
first.
was, I would have been like, no, thank you, goodbye. I don't want a part of your.
Yeah.
But she ignored me a little bit at first.
Okay, ladies,
kindly.
I do want to ask you something really funny.
Okay.
Well, not really funny, but like, because this stuff is like selling like hotcakes. The lube.
Oh,
So tell us about the CBD Green Compass lubrication.
it has a fancier name, a
You
more
want-
PC name called Intimacy Oil.
And you want it.
You want
right
it
now.
We say it's the dessert. So we offer the CBD, which is like your meal.
I asked Maggie
And if
about it.
you
I
want
said, Maggie, I
dessert.
said, what's up with this lube? I said, is it like a male, female? She said, hell yeah. She's like, get you some.
Is it
You know, I
safe to
got-
say
you know, I
it's
got
become
some.
our husband's favorite product?
Oh, for sure. It is definitely, it does its job for one, and it's pretty amazing.
So get your Green Compass lube, everybody, or Intimacy Oil.
Well, that's
Intimacy
another
oil.
industry. There's so much junk out there, and you're
You
putting
don't know
that
what
in
you're
places
putting in
you
a
want to
pla-
be careful.
That's like your,
Yes.
that's your hot spot. You know, you
Yes,
gotta be
and
careful.
that skin right there is so absorbent. So anything dirty you put there is just
It's
gonna.
got to be like the real
Yes,
deal.
you want the
Come
best.
on.
Only
No,
the best.
When I saw that, I saw Beth Ann's ad, and she had me rolling off the couch.
Did you order it yet?
I have it. Yes, I do. I've been using it.
Can we get a testimonial?
Yes, I can.
Right now.
Okay. So one time, no, this is going to get me in trouble. This is about the time. All right. So what we're doing for every one of the Penthouse podcasts, my guests have got to be sort of, they gotta do the Penthouse shot. It's sort of our thing. It's just a little raspberry vodka.
Okay.
Tito's is my favorite vodka.
Thank you.
And then it's got a
I
little
love Tito's
splash of
too.
love in it. It might have a little dash of the Intimacy Oil. Just joking. So, cheers, ladies.
Aw,
Cheers,
thank
Jesse.
you so
To
much.
many more of these exciting podcasts for us, and sell the hell out of that stuff because it is really working and people love it. And y'all are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank
Do
you.
you have to take this all at once?
We're doing it.
Pound
Dig in.
it.
Okay.
We're not done quite yet, ladies.
Oh, it's
Oh, it's actually tasty.
Yeah.
It's really good. No, it's really good.
Let's talk about what it helps with because it can calm somebody down, but it can also boost somebody's energy. So everybody is different,
And
right?
so you need to go into that.
So, well, we're gonna do
How it
the
affects people differently.
yes. So we'll
Yeah.
do the science like in a tiny little nutshell.
Okay, cool.
But we have
Let's
an
make
endo.
it super 101.
Okay.
Because I didn't understand this at all.
We
at
have
first,
an
but-
endocannabinoid system in our body. Say
Okay.
that 3 times fast. I know when
Endocannabinoid.
endocannabinoid.
But can we
Endocannabinoid.
talk about the system for 1 second? Because I think what is fascinating about this
Endocannabinoid.
endocannabinoid,
Endo ECS.
Okay, let's just say that.
it was just discovered in the 1990s, and only 13% of medical schools actually teach about this system. And it's the largest and most profound system in our body that controls literally every other system in our body. So that to me
your
is like,
Remember all
respiratory, to
those
all the things.
systems you learned in
All
7th
the
grade?
things.
yes, exactly.
But it's
I was
main.
trying to pay attention.
I know, but now we're learning it again. It's fun. But its main
Say it one more time.
endocannabinoid system.
Okay.
I know.
Here
Should we get
go.
some intimacy?
I
oil
love
up
it.
for that? But its main purpose is to keep our body in homeostasis or in balance. And so when it's got all these receptors from our heads to our toes, and when we take CBD, it can bind to those receptors and help bring us back to balance. So somebody might be in pain, or somebody might be stressed, or somebody might have trouble sleeping, or might have appetite issues. Everybody's different, and CBD is going to work in everyone's endocannabinoid system differently. But that's why one plant and one product can do so much for so many different people.
God, I love that.
It's really cool.
Because you're basically focusing on the thing that you're having the most problem with. So whether it's appetite or it's going to hit that problem that you're kind of having and hopefully cure it.
Yes, and someone will take CBD to sleep better, and all of a sudden they'll be like, "Oh, my neck pain is improving," and I'm not yelling at my
Because
kids
you're
as
sleeping
much.
better.
Yes, but it
Yeah.
also works in other ways by bringing you back to balance, so your stress levels go down, and
Back to the intimacy oil. All the things.
Well, an analogy that I love, because I'm so not like science-based at all, is the parking lot. If you think about, you have a parking lot, Emily has a parking lot, everybody's parking lot looks different. Some spaces are filled with cars, some are empty. And what CBD does, it goes into your parking lot, your ECS, finds where you have empty spaces. Like, for example, I always give my husband as an example. He had an empty parking spot for jaw pain.
Yeah.
And so CBD went into his system, parked at that space, and he found relief there. And so wherever you have empty parking spaces, wherever Emily has empty parking spaces.
My sleep schedule is so off because
well,
Wednesday through Sunday I'm running a bar. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday I'm hanging out with my dog at home, going to bed at 10 o'clock and trying to cook at home and do all the things. And so some nights, like, it'll be like a Monday where I'm like, oh, I just really want to get some good sleep because it's the night I can go to bed at 10 o'clock and get up at 9 or 10, with the dog.
That must be nice. 9 or 10.
But like you said, you're filling these parking lots, and mine was to sleep because it's like I can't take a bunch of prescription medicines that are going to make me groggy. Groggy. I meant to say dragging ass and groggy in the same word. Groggy.
That's a good one.
So I was like, fuck, I can't get no damn sleep. I'm like, the nights I'm sober, I want to go to bed early. I'm like laying there banging my head on the pillow with my intimacy oil. I'm like, this is good. So it's like that was the sleep thing was the big one for me. That's what really got me hooked with the drops originally was the sleep thing. Because I don't want to take a bunch of Xanax or whatever to knock myself out. Because then the next day I'm a shithead. We got meetings after meetings after meetings, and sometimes you just want that good rest. And so it's such a healthy approach on the whole thing.
I know,
I was gonna say
and everybody knows me. I'm a party animal. I'm a night owl. All the things, whatever.
Well, I was going to say I was actually having a conversation with a new mom who she's finishing breastfeeding. So she's choosing to wait until she's done breastfeeding to start her CBD journey, which you should just always chat with your doctor about that. But, she's wanting something to help with sleep. And I literally exactly explaining that to her. I was like, what I love about this is that it will give you that good quality sleep. But as moms, like if you have to get up for your children or your child at any time you got to get up, you got to be coherent. You got to know what you're doing.
You got to drive them sometimes.
You never know. Right. And so, we can't be taking like Ambien and knock ourselves out,
You're floating on a cloud all night and you wake up and it's like game over.
Yeah.
Get to the kids drop off zone and mommy's got a lot to do with PTA today.
And so, but it gives you that quality sleep. So where when you have your eyes closed and you are asleep, you're getting that quality sleep. And then, if you need to get up, you can do what you need to do. And then once you get back in bed, you're able to fall back asleep again easily and then wake up feeling refreshed.
Totally. And can we do a little plug? This is what's so cool about being a part of this company. As amazing as it is, it's extra special being in our backyard. I mean, the corporate offices are in Mayfair, and
it's convenient. It's good. You get to spend more time with your family because it's that there.
Yes, but they're providing jobs for the Wilmington market. But what's cool is we were projected to do about $500,000 in sales in our first year, and we did almost $12 million. And amazing. We planted the largest hemp crop on the East Coast. Like Green Compass will be a household name nationwide and hopefully eventually globally.
And not to interrupt you, but a lot of people think that kind of money is what they're making themselves. It's not. So much goes back into growing these crops, paying the staff, paying the taxes on all that stuff. People get the wrong idea like, oh, they made $12 million last year. The sales were $12 million. It doesn't mean that you guys are making $12 million. It doesn't mean Meredith's making, or whatever, however number it is. It goes back into the business. And that's the biggest misconception of people that aren't business owners don't understand is that, yes, they made $1 billion last year. The business made $1 billion. It doesn't mean that went into their pocket completely. It went to paying to regrow these plants, to regrow all the marketing, all the things that go into it. So that's something, a lot of people will be up here when I'm busy and like, oh, you're killing it. I'm like, yeah, every drink you're drinking, I got to replenish. This roof I'm under, I got to pay for it. Everything goes back into the business. Yes, I'm paying for my lifestyle. I have a dog, I have a home. But we work our asses off to have what we have. So it's living proof. You work your ass off, hopefully there'll be some return. You know,
and so much of Green Compass goes right back into
the business.
The business. Like we just recently built our own labs because we were growing so quickly. We were originally partnered at UNC Wilmington here, which was so cool, but we quickly outgrew that. So now we partnered with our husbands' builders, and we built our own labs, and we're working at 25% capacity, ready for the big expansion that's gonna happen because so many people are realizing all the benefits of hemp and CBD and what it can do, and new hires too to really help take this business to the next level,
which have more people to make it grow.
Trickles down to helping more people. Yep.
And ultimately, that's the goal.
That's the goal.
I mean, that is the mission.
Well, and let's just say this right here, because something that I loved, I adore Meredith and Sterling. I think it's very rare to find business owners that their heart and their passion are the forefront of their company. And I'll never forget, and I don't think any other advocate in our company would ever forget them saying, if there wasn't $1 attached to this business, it wouldn't matter. They would find a way to get these products into people's hands because they know what those products are doing for people. And that's just, I mean, like, mic drop. Can I drop it? I don't want to drop it. It's too expensive. And, that's what it's about at the end of the day.
Okay, but if you are listening and you're curious about CBD, you can try the products. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. They are shipped straight to your door. You can cancel at any time. Or if you know a few people who might benefit from CBD, the business might be a smart option for you where you can play a little bit or you can play a lot.
And think about the camaraderie you guys have made with people.
We have a really cool team.
I mean, honestly, if you really want to meet some really cool, fun people that just know how to let loose and do something they really love and that they're really passionate about, but also are making money and making people's lives better, it's definitely something you should look into.
It's true. I have to plug this business again, but I think what is so cool about it is that you can work this around your day. So we have so many people who work full time that fit this in those little white spaces in their calendar, and you can do as much or as little as you want. But what this business has done for Michael and I, who really, we dove in and we work this like it's our full-time job. It's provided incredible options for our family, and it's changed our lives. We're still the same.
And haters stay away. If you don't like what we're doing,
we were haters. I rolled my eyes at people in this industry. I get so mad when I
see people
it's
sort of.
Miseducation.
It's not understood. But
y'all's social media is so fun and so uplifting and so positive that the people that want to dog it out, forget it.
Well, the people who want to dog it out aren't educated because you tell me in this economy.
Just jealous people. It's just the way it is. Some people are just not happy.
You have to talk about your job snob.
I will. I'll say that. But I will also, in this economy, you need a second, third, fourth stream of income. And so you've got to, the dream is not CBD, even though we're helping change people's lives. It's not about the money. It's what you can do with that money.
You have to, your children are like, I don't even know how to. I will never be able to understand or relate because I don't have any children. But talking about commending you guys, and all my girlfriends and guy friends that have kids and that bust their ass to give those kids the best life they can. You need a little something. You need that side hustle sometimes. You need that extra little bump in your income.
They're expensive.
Well, and sometimes it's just something for you too. I've had so many people join my team that are just looking for a community. You know what I mean? They don't have that. They don't have that.
Because they're at home all day or whatever. They're running around for their jobs.
Yep.
And
you
they
want to use your brain and talk to other people.
The trips for you guys are well deserved. I mean, you need that breakaway. That's your outreach too. If you think about it, that's your outreach to go wherever it's going to be, whether it's Denver or Miami or wherever, Vegas. But then there's your chance to plug other people that are like the Scotties that don't know about it. And they're like, wow, look at these beautiful ladies that are so intelligent and smart and funny and really know their shit. We need to hear more what they have to say.
Well, we're getting to do what we love around the people that we love. And it's unlimited. We get to put in what you put in, you get out. Yep. And it's just
gratifying.
Yes. And it is important to note what Michael said is I was a huge job snob and rolled my eyes at people in this industry. And here I am now lapping it up and loving it. But it's because you make it what you want. And if you don't want to be that cheesy salesperson, you want to be you. And we're providing a product that people need and we're offering them a
In
solution.
your social media, obviously, I enjoy watching both of you. I mean, I like, love, fire sign, heart signs.
Thank you. Keep it up.
I want you to know that I'm seeing that, and I appreciate it, and it's uplifting, and it's positive, and the vibes are good, and you're just creating a good energy for people. So like, keep it up, and I can't
You
wait
have
to see
to have
more.
fun with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate
you.
it. This has been such a fun experience, and I can't wait to have you on in the near future.
Jesse, you just popped our podcast cherry, I think.
Yes. The podcast cherry is popped.
Where's the intimacy oil?
Oh my God.
All right,
It's at
cut.
home.